Hi,
Hello.
good evening. Welcome to Aderans UK Live. Hello, Bradley. How are you this evening?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Yes, very well, thank you, Bradley. Welcome to everybody, our viewers that are tuned in this evening to watch us. Thank you for joining us. Tonight, we're going to actually do a recap for you of the Noriko Wig Collection. The Noriko Wig Collection is part of the renowned Renier Paris brand, so it belongs to, it's one of their brand names, along with High Fashion and the Amour collection. The Noriko brand was actually created back in 1995, so it's been around now for quite a number of years, but it's an amazing collection of wigs. For those of you who are actually new to wearing wigs, maybe you're thinking of buying a wig for the first time, or you're just looking at it for a different style and a different colour. Hi, Paula. Good evening to you. Watches every week. Such a good person. Very good. Thank you for tuning in. So tonight we're going to be looking at Norico, part of the Renier Paris brand. If you've got any questions, please just pop your questions in the comments box on Instagram, on Facebook, and can you do that on YouTube, or do you just view on YouTube, Bradley?
You can do it on YouTube, Jane, and it will all come through. I can still see that. We're broadcasting everywhere right now, so we've very kindly got Zara helping us tonight, who's manning the Instagram chat. So wherever you are, whatever you ask, there is somebody who is willing to answer you.
Fantastic. So far away with your questions. Anything wig related, to what we're talking about now, even if it's not wig related to the Noriko collection, but you want to know something else about wigs, please ask, and we'll be here to actually try and address and answer all of those questions. So tonight, looking at the Noriko collection, it's part of the actual Renier Paris brand, and the Renier Paris brand owns quite a lot of different collections, different wig collections, from high fashion, Amour, the Orchid collection, Alexander Turnbull, his collection of wigs as well. So there's numerous brands that you can actually look at. With the Noriko collection, though, this has been around now for quite a number of years. It was launched in 1995, so it's been with us now for 25 years. We should really, and I've got that right, 25 years?
Oh, no.
1995?
It's actually
96?
26 years? My maths is terrible,
90
Jane. There's a reason I don't do an accounting job.
Bradley's going to actually work that out at the moment, how many years Noriko has actually been going since it was launched in 1995, just to give him some homework and a little bit of something to do instead of sitting there and looking pretty for us, so he can actually do a little bit of work this evening.
Jay.
He's now going to be on his PC doing some sums, trying to work that one out. I should be able to actually work it out, but I think it's about 25 years. Which, if it is, then it's quite amazing. And Dawn's just let us know it's 26 years, so my maths was a year out, and somebody was a little bit quicker than Bradley on working that one out as well.
I mean, it's not difficult to be.
So it's been around for quite a long time. And when they actually made this range, they really focused around the quality and the comfort, and most importantly, the style of the actual wigs. The Noriko range showcases an assortment of different colours in different stunning shades, and we've got 94 different shades of wigs in that whole collection. So there's going to be a colour for everybody out there. It doesn't matter, you know, if you're grey, if you're white, if you want something quite dark, if you want an ombre effect colour, there is something out there for everybody. As you can see from the colouring, which is the Renier Paris airbrush colouring, the colours are actually quite vast, and it's quite a huge selection that we can actually offer. Anything from pastel colours as well, which are absolutely beautiful when you look at colours like this. And I'll show you some of the new colours that we've got here this evening as well, for people who haven't actually seen us lately and caught up on the new colours. Style-wise, they're always actually looking to increase the collection, and every year we bring out new styles, maybe 3 or 4 new styles in the collection, and new colours as well. So we're currently always trying to keep up with the fashions and what is actually going ahead in that world of fashion. And we have designers who are constantly looking at catwalk shows and trying to predict what is going to be happening in 12, 18 months' time. So, you know, if you go in to purchase a Noriko wig, the quality of the foundation, the actual quality of the fibre that they're made from is really exceptional. They're beautiful, beautiful wigs. And we launched these just before Christmas. Bradley kindly done a really big launch on the Noriko collection. And it timed itself really well, because it timed itself with the announcement from Boris that we were going into another lockdown with our COVID pandemic that we've all been living through for the last year. So it kind of got a little bit lost along the way. So that's why tonight we've decided to give you a recap on it and to look at those styles. And if you were on from the beginning with us, Bradley played a really great video, and it was showing all the different styles, but all these models, they were all walking around in a beautiful location, water and sunshine, and it just made you think of those summer months, which we're all itching to get to and actually have a change of season and enjoy that outdoor weather. Last week here in Brighton, it was absolutely beautiful, stunning, stunning weather. This week, well, from today, it's blowing a gale outside. I went outside earlier and couldn't believe how windy and bad the rain actually was outside. And I think we've got this for about another week. So hopefully, wherever you're all watching from this evening, you're dry and you're safe indoors. And I would stay indoors and not actually venture outside unless you really, really have to. So going on with the Noriko collection, we've got 4 new styles that we're going to show you. And tonight I'm actually going to cut one of those styles as well, so we can do a little bit of styling for you. We can use some different products. So if you've got any questions about the products I'm using, again, just ask us what you want to know about all the different products and how I use them and why I'm using them. But I'm also going to be giving you a question or 2 questions. Bradley didn't know about this. Sorry, Bradley. But the wig that I'm cutting tonight, we're going to actually give that away to one lucky viewer who gets the questions right. I'm going to ask the 2 questions now. Bradley's going to actually ask the same 2 questions later on throughout the evening as well for any new viewers that might be tuning in. And the 2 questions I've got, and they're very easy questions if you've been listening to me, is what year was Norico created? And what brand does Norico come under? So it's the brand that the Noriko collection comes under and what year were they created? Just pop your 2 answers in the comments box, and the person who gets the correct 2 answers will actually win tonight's wig that I'm going to be cutting. I know you don't know what that wig is yet, so you're all probably hesitant and thinking, oh, till she shows us what colour or what wig it is, we might not want to actually enter. It's a free wig. It's going to be fun for you to wear and maybe encourage you to go for a completely different look and a completely different style as well.
Now, Jane.
How are you doing there, Bradley?
I just have to interrupt you and tell you that we are experiencing some technical issues tonight with Instagram, which actually are not anything of our doing. It seems that they are not functioning properly tonight. So apologies for that. We keep starting streams and then it cancels them. So not sure what's going on there. I'm going to continue to try and fix it throughout the evening, but we're jumping all over the place. So we'll just keep going as we are. And hopefully Facebook will be able to view us soon.
Hopefully you'll be able to fix that. Maybe if you are watching us on Instagram and having a few issues, maybe pop across to Facebook or pop across to YouTube and you'll be able to catch us there and be able to continue watching us on those 2 channels because we've got no problems on the other 2. Instagram does seem to actually jump in and out sometimes, though, Bradley. We've had this before, haven't we?
It's not the best, Jane. I don't think it's really built for what it's used for during the pandemic, and they unfortunately haven't quite caught up, even though they've had a year to do so.
So actually, yeah.
Never
Which
mind.
Is a shame, really, because
it is a shame, but we're still live to
a lot of viewers. Yeah. Okay, I'm just bringing my trusty little head in for you, so I can just start showing you. And I thought I'd actually put the wigs onto the head so you can see them a little bit better, see the length of them, and also I just want to show you the foundations, how the foundations are actually made. The first one I'm going to talk about is Emery, and this is the one I'm going to be cutting this evening as well. So this is the one that we will be cutting and styling for you. So one of you viewers will have the chance to actually win this particular wig. This colour is in the Moonstone, which is one of our new colours in the collection. You can see it's a rooted colour, and it's only a small root, about 1 to 2 centimetres. The colour through those mid-lengths and ends are a really soft, pearly white. And if you look quite closely to it as well, you can almost see some strands of very fine, soft blue and cream running through there. So it really lights up differently in different lights as you catch it. Even though it's got a really dark root to it, It's not black. It's almost like a graphite grey, really. It's that real charcoaly kind of grey. So it's a softer black. It's going to look quite good on most different people's skin tones, I think. One of the lovely features on this wig is the foundation. And this particular Noriko wig is made with a lace parting and a lace front to it. And because we've got that lace parting, it's going to look really, really natural when somebody's wearing it. And with the lace front as well, if you want to take your hair away from the face, cut more of a fringe into it, you're going to be able to do these different things with it. Typical for the Noriko collection and her signature look in the Noriko collection is to actually have a lot of lift and a lot of body with her wigs as well. So there's always some lift in height on the crown and through the actual sides of the wig. So if you're somebody who likes to have quite a lot of hair in quite big hair, then the Emery is one that would actually suit you. Lengthwise, we're actually quite short in that nape area. So it's about 2.5 inches in the nape. So it's quite short and it tapers down really quite nicely. And I think when we're looking at this colour, because it's got a root to it, when you put your fingers through it, you can really see that colour coming through, which gives the wig, I think, a really nice feature. It makes all those lovely layers stand out quite a lot more, which is quite good. When we come through to the sides again are about 6.5 to 7 inches in length, about 6.5 inches in length on that crown. So you've got quite a lot of lift and quite a lot of height to work with. You can actually scrunch this up so you've got a lot of movement to it as well, so you can have that real softness to it, or you can keep it quite smooth into that lovely chin length bob shape. As you can see, as we take her round to the front, that front's quite long. It's a 7-inch fringe, so we're quite long on the front. But when we take it back, again, and I think if I just bring her a bit closer, you can see how natural that hairline would actually work for you. So you could leave the fringe long, you could take it back, and you could maybe put a little clip in there. So you could buy a little clip just to actually accessorize it and dress it up. And in a couple of weeks' time, Bradley and myself are actually doing a fashion segment. So we're going to be showing you all about accessorizing your wigs and making them a little bit more different and making them just for you, so you can bring your personality into that wig as well. And I think that's quite important when you're wearing hair. It is your hair and you want to actually bring your personality into that as well. So you can take this all the way back if you want to. You could pop a little soft under fringe in there as well, if that's what you were looking for, because you don't want it all hanging over your face. So you've got quite a lot of options, I think, when we're looking at the Emery. So that's really a chin length bob, but it's got that nice little bit of movement on the ends that you can really encourage into it if you wanted to, which I think is actually quite a nice style, great for the summer and moving along into those spring months as well. And then we've got another personal favourite. This is the Nema. And this colour really speaks for itself, I think. This is called Simply White, just as it actually says on the tin almost, Simply White. And it's a really pure white wig. It's got those lovely shades of cream and platinum actually running through it. This wig is on a standard Noriko construction. So it's on what we call the lighter than air base. If you can see the top, it's the machine wefted top. It's machine wefted all over for you. But the wefting is actually quite far apart on the top, so it's going to be a lot cooler for you. Again, you'll actually notice just here, they've put in a piece of metal. It's the metal stay. They're always in the side of your wig, so you can actually get them in the right place at the temple area. But on this one, they've got one just in that front area. So when we put it onto somebody, we can really shape the wig onto their forehead, so we're getting that really beautiful contour all the time as well. That's really quite a nice feature of this particular wig. This is the shortest one out of the new ones in the collection. Again, we're about 2 centimetres in length at the back, 2 inches rather, so quite short, tapered in. And they do, I must say, when any of the manufacturers make these wigs, Norico or more high fashion, they really do give you a superb haircut. And it's the kind of cut we'd all like on our own hair if you've got your own hair, but you can never achieve that really nice look through the back where it tapers in just lovely. The top of the wig is about 7 inches in length. So again, we've got a nice lot of length to play with through that top, which is very, very nice. And coming down to the sides, tapering in, again, that lovely layer going through, and a short fringe of about 4, it's probably about 4 inches on one side, and going longer onto this side to about 5.5 inches. So you can wear it almost like an asymmetric look when you're wearing your hair. Again, this is quite a versatile wig. You can put products into it to really lift it. You can make it quite flat as well if you want to. Again, I think coming into those summer months and we're wanting that short hair, or we're wanting that really blonde look, this colour is going to suit most people, I think, because it's such a pure white, which most people love, that bleached blonde look. And if you don't want to ruin your own hair, then it's ideal just to actually purchase that wig to go with it. Before I move on to our next one, I just want to reintroduce ourselves, because I know we've got more viewers that have come on. And excuse me, I've got Bradley with me tonight, and he's looking at all your questions. And we've got Sarah, who's on Instagram, looking at the questions as well. We are having a few hiccups with Instagram at the moment. So if you're having problems, pop across to Facebook. And tonight we're just showing you a recap of the Noriko collection. This was launched back in December, but it kind of clashed with the same announcement from Boris Johnson that we were going into another lockdown. So all of a sudden, everybody was really busy trying to lock down all their salons, sorting out their schools and business and kids and work, and it got lost in the way. So we wanted to just show you it again, because I think the 4 styles that we've got to show you are great coming up to these summer months. Really good summer hairstyles and colours that you're going to be able to actually go with. Excuse me. We've also got a little competition running this evening, and I'm going to pass over to Bradley so he can actually tell you the 2 questions. It's a 2-part question that I've come up with this evening, and whoever gets those questions right will be able to actually win one of the wigs that I'm cutting this evening. So I'm just going to pop across to Bradley whilst I change over wigs again. Thank you, Bradley.
Okay, so you're going to quiz me now on how well I was listening, aren't you? So the first question...
Hope you wrote it down.
I should have written it down. The first question of this evening is, in what year did the Noriko range get created? That was the first question, right?
Yep.
The second question, however, completely has escaped me. I'm going to let you do that one, Jane.
Oh, dearie me. Okay, the second question was, what brand does the Noriko collection belong to?
Of course it was. Yeah, I knew that.
You knew that. You know the answer as well, don't you?
I do know the answer. Yeah, that's something else I know. So just while I've got everybody's attention, I just want to let you know that we are live on Instagram. The problem that we are having this evening is to get the screen into the kind of shape where you can see all of us, which we've had for the last few weeks. To do that is when it's throwing us off. So we can definitely broadcast to you tonight, but what we're going to do is Jane will be in the middle of the screen, and you'll be able to see, for the most part, what she's doing. But if you want to see us in full screen with both of us, as I'm sure you can't right now, because the screen is split lengthways in two, then head over to our YouTube page or to Facebook. Both of them are down as Trendco Wigs on the handle, so you'll be able to find us quite easily. But anyway, Jane, back to you.
Thank you, Bradley. Shame we're having our little issues again this evening with Instagram. Hopefully they're going to be fixed soon. They might have a lot of traffic on there tonight, a lot of people doing things, or it could be weather interference, who knows. This is the third wig that I'd like to show you this evening, and this wig is the Alva. It's on the same foundation as the Nima, so it's got that machine wefted cap going through the top. As you can see, it's quite flat, so there's not quite so much primitives in this wig as you get in some wigs. So we want to just keep that nice soft contour and that lovely shape to the actual head. The colour of this one is one of our new colours, and it's beautiful. It's called Peach Gold. And if I just bring it closer to the camera, you're going to actually be able to see little strands of like peachy pink colours that are very subtle and just running through that hair. It makes it such a really beautiful colour, and I think, you know, Easter coming, spring holidays coming, it's going to actually look fabulous if you're going away on holiday, walking along the beach, or just anywhere for that matter. It comes with this really cute short little fringe, which is already put into it, and the fringe is probably about 4 inches in length. The nape area at the back is about 4 inches in length, just on that underneath section, if you can actually see just there. And the other length is about 9.5 inches, which is just lovely. And it's got this wig, I think, just a really nice natural movement to it. It's almost as if you've been to the hairdresser's, had a really, really good haircut and a nice layer put through your hair, and it just looks really fresh and really healthy. It moves quite naturally as well, as you can see, just putting your fingers through it. You get that really nice layer coming through it. It's also quite nice if you didn't want it quite so long through those sides. You could also get your hairdresser just to snip into this and texturize that slightly, so it's just coming more around your face. Again, I think it's a great style moving forward for the actual spring and those summer months that we've got coming, and also for the colour as well. It's a lovely colour that we're using there. The last new style that I'm going to show you is this one called Alexi. The colour of this one is one of our original colours. This is the smoky grey R, if nobody's seen it before. Again, we've got that lovely 1 to 2 centimetre root. It's not black, but it's that dusky grey again, more of a graphite grey that we've got going through that area, which is really nice. And then the mid-length and ends, when I look at it, it's a really silvery grey shade. But if you look quite closely, you can almost see shades of lilac and violet just running through there. And again, in different lights, it does pick up to have that kind of soft purpley hue to it. It's almost like a lavender, a soft lavender going through it. So a great style. Cap construction is fabulous as well. We're all machine wefted, but at that front, we've got that lovely lace finish just going through that front section. So if we want to actually take the fringe away, or it blows back in the wind, again, it's going to look really, really natural for you. And if we just pop this one on, and you can see this fringe, and this is what's so lovely, I think, about this wig in the feature for it. If you just wanted that kind of short, cute little fringe, this is lovely because it sits so flat here because you've got that lace front. So if we take her around to the side, you can really see how that just hugs the head and sits really quite nice and flat. It's a fringe that behaves perfectly for us, and it's about 4 inches in length. The actual length of the wig at the top is about 10.5 inches. So we've got that little bit more length. The style, though, I think is one of those, it's almost like a lob. So you've got a long bob, but it's got some texture and it's got some movement to it. It's almost as if you've got your straighteners, taken it through and then just twisted them at the ends to give it that little bit of texture and that movement as well, which is, I think, really, really nice. It's a really young style, but I think it's quite a sophisticated style as well. You can really dress this style up and make it quite sophisticated. If you wanted to make it more messy and have a bit more texture to it, as if you've been walking along the beach or been out for a long walk, you could always take some spray. And we've got a new spray that we've started using. We've introduced these this week. We've got some new products that are all made by Redken, and you can get all of these on our website, or you can ring our sales team and they'll be able to actually point you in the right direction for these products. This one's called Windblown, and I'll just show you that to the camera so you can see which one it is. And with this particular product, it's like a hairspray, but it's got a mattifying effect to it. So it'll actually help if you've got a wig and you're finding it a little bit too shiny. It's going to take away some of that shine for you as well. It's a very soft spray, so it's not going to feel sticky or stiff at all, but it gives you some nice kind of tousled body look. So it gives you that really soft look of body. So I'm just going to spray a little bit through this wig just so you can see the difference. And as you can see, it's not sticky because it's not making my hands sticky at all. It's lovely and smooth and soft, but you can really lift that wig out and really encourage that kind of tousled soft look to it. When you look at the other side, it's quite straight and quite sleek still, but looking at this side, you can really bring that movement out of the actual wig, which is great. And I'm going to be looking at a few other products this evening as well, so we can actually cut a wig for you in a moment and look at the different products that you can use. So a little bit of product really does make your wig, I think, your own. Because a lot of the time we just wear a wig, we don't personalize it, we don't really do too much with it. But using something like this is really good, and it just makes it more natural looking to yourself. And we've got some products, questions. I think we've got one. I'm always so nervous to use products, but that sounds great. You missed the name of it, that's no problem. That one was called Windblown. It's by Redken, and you can get all of those on our website, or you can call our customer sales team and they'll be able to actually get that out into the post for you, which is lovely.
So Jane, we have another couple of questions that have come through, and I'm not sure whether you've seen them already, but we had one. Do you have any longer wigs in the Noriko collection?
We do. I mean, we've got a huge collection of wigs in the Noriko collection, a huge collection of stars. Again, you're going to be able to find them all on our website. You can find them all in our magazine as well, if you wanted to. I've got one of our longest ones in the collection here. And this is the Angelica. It's been in the collection now probably almost since the beginning. Everybody loves just long, wavy hair, don't they? You can't go wrong with it. And this is the Angelica It's really long. And let me just take her off the head so you can see the length of it. And it's just got that lovely wave pattern going through it. So again, a great wig. If you want to actually wear it up and do different things with it, you can easily just take the hair up. Let me just get rid of that label. Just take it back in your hands. And you could just twist it up and just put a clip in there, and quite easily you can just see that root colour coming through. With this particular one, it comes in 2 sizes. So it comes in the regular head size, and all of the Norico come in a 54 centimetre head size. But this one actually comes in a large head size as well. So maybe if you've got a bigger size head, you might be somebody watching us who's cross-dresser or transgender, and you need a wig that's going to be bigger for you, so you've got the comfort. Look at the Noriko Collection, because we do 3 that are on a larger head size, and they're the Sky, the Reese, and this one as well, the Angelica. So that's the longest one in the collection, which is about 18 inches in length overall for you.
We've got some more questions for you, Jane, as well. So, sorry, what is the name of the longer blonde wig that you have on show?
If we're looking at this one, which I'm guessing you are, that one's called the Alva. So it's ALVA, and the colour of that one is peach gold, which is one of the new colours that came out at the very end of last year, but I think it's a great colour moving forward to the actual summer and the spring. And we've got loads of questions popping up tonight, Bradley, which is great,
which is lovely. So can you use the windblown product on your own hair as well as on wigs?
You can. Yeah, all of the products that we actually sell, all of the Redken products that we sell, they can all be used on our own growing bio hair, they can be used on human hair wigs, and they can be used on synthetic wigs. Whenever you're using a product on a synthetic wig though, or on a fibre wig, always make sure you use the product quite sparingly. Don't use too much. You can always build it up and put more product in, but it's better just to use a little bit at a time so you actually get the right amount of product in it. Make sure it's water soluble so you can actually wash it out as well. All of our products that we use and recommend, we know they actually work well, whether it's on human hair or on fibre, so you'll be completely safe to actually use them. And I think if you've not played around with product before, it's worth having a little play around, maybe on an old wig if you've got one, and then just experiment on your new wig. Bradley is going to carry on asking me questions, but I'm going to just tell you what I'm going to do to begin with. This is the wig, which is an Emery, and the colour is Moonstone. And this is the one that we're going to be giving away this evening. It's a prize for somebody who gets the 2-part question right, and we'll ask that again shortly. Bradley might be able to remember the 2 parts this time. If not, I can actually help out.
And it's a tricky
this wig, and I'm getting too much product in my throat today. I used it this afternoon and I think I'm getting a bit stuck with hairspray. This wig I'm going to actually cut in style. I don't want to change it too much, but I want to make it look quite a lot different. The back I actually love, but I'm going to put product in there. I'm going to take some of this weight out of here and use it to put some product in to give it more of that tousled look. But I feel it's far too heavy coming around that front. It's kind of hanging all over the face and we're losing the person underneath all that hair. So I want to actually shorten that front, put a little bit of a fringe into it and take a lot of this weight out through that underneath, so we can get more of a tousled, layered bob look to it. As I'm actually cutting, Bradley can just keep your questions coming through and we can actually address all your questions. If I've got any hairdressers watching tonight and you're wondering what's the best way to cut a wig, I would always suggest never use your normal scissors. I only ever use these if I'm actually point cutting or I want to create any texture. I'll use thinning scissors if I want to actually thin the hair out, but most of the time I actually use a razor. And when you're razor cutting, it's almost when you look at the wig, because the style's already been put into this. Somebody has actually designed it, the factory have made it, and the style's there. So all we're trying to do is enhance what is actually there already for you. I always think if you get a wig and you end up cutting inches and inches off of it, you've probably selected the wrong wig, because there's so many different wigs that we can actually be using and selling to people. So I just want to encourage a little bit more of this movement coming through the wig and take a lot of this weight out from around that perimeter and from that face area as well. I don't want to take the fringe too short, because I'm aware whoever wins this, they might want to have a slightly longer fringe, and obviously we don't know the depth of their actual forehead that we're working to. So I'm just going to start by just popping, as you can see, a little bit more of a fringe into that wig, and instantly, just with one little cut, it changes that look completely of that wig. And sometimes that's all you need to actually do with a wig, is just change it ever so slightly, and it's making it more personal to you when you're actually wearing it. And that is something I think is really quite important. I think sometimes as well, when you personalize a wig, you can actually enhance that color a bit more, and you can bring out the color of the wig, and it shows it up a lot more as well. Because even through that front section now, we've got shades of this lovely creamy blonde running through there that you can see a little bit better as well.
So I've just found a new button, Jane, that we can press when we're on our live stream, and it actually brings the question up on screen. Just discovered that by accident. I noticed in the questions tonight there's somebody that says, "Hi Bradley," and it's a name I recognise. So hello to Paula Hicks. I recognise her, blast from the past. That's lovely to see. Thanks for watching. I've got more questions here for you, Jane. How well do these fit people with no hair? I have alopecia and find sometimes wigs are too baggy if they are designed for people with hair. Now, we've got the perfect solution for that, haven't we? That we actually looked at with Mia from Christine last week.
We have got a solution for that as well, yeah. Most of the wigs, to answer that question, on most collections are actually made to an average head size of about a 54 centimetre. Those wigs fit most people. Sometimes people might find they're a little bit big. Sometimes people find it's this area that they feel is a bit baggy, and they get like this little bagging movement inside this area. If that's the problem, I'll show you the solution we've got for that. But we've got other collections as well that we sell. If you look at our Centu collection, Centu Lotus, Centu Premium, and Centu Premium Plus, some of those wigs are made on a petite foundation of a 51 centimetre head size. So again, either look through the brochures, look at our website, or just speak to one of our sales team, and they'll be able to actually tell you which wigs do come in a petite head size. But last week we were, and I don't know if you were watching last week, we had a company on with us called Christine Headwear. And they sell, and we sell for them, lots of turbans, sun hats, and alternative wear to actually wearing a wig, because not everybody wants to wear a wig all the time. When they get home from work, they might feel more comfortable just wearing a turban. And all of their headwear is really, really stylish. I'm just going to put this one to one side a minute so I can show you how this works. So if I go back to a head, I'll pop the same wig on. And for the question that you were asking, sometimes the wigs are a little bit baggy here. As you can see, I've got a little bit of movement, and sometimes you can kind of pinch that area. If that's happening and you want to actually fill the wig out a little bit more, Christine Headwear do this. This is what we actually call a soft lift cap. It's got some anti-slip PU going around the edges, so it makes it really, really secure. It's also made of a really special fabric that we learnt about last week, which was amazing, wasn't it, Bradley?
Yeah.
And it's called 37.5. And our optimum body temperature is 37.5 degrees. And by wearing one of these caps, and they do turbans made from that technology as well, and they do wig liners made from that technology. But if you wanted to build your wig out, one of these soft lift caps would work really well. You put it towards the back area of the actual head. You don't want to put it onto the top. You want to put it towards the back. And then when we fit the wig over, you can see straight away how that creates that beautiful silhouette at the back of the head for you. So it's a perfect solution for people who have got a wig, they feel it's a little bit baggy, you feel as if you want a little bit more underneath it. If you've got alopecia, it really does work a treat, and they're really comfortable to wear as well. So hopefully that's answered your question. Again, we'll have those on our website, or if you just speak to any of the team on the number on the screen, they'll be able to put one in the post for you and get you sorted out with one of these soft lift caps. But yeah, great invention and a really easy, simple solution as well. And if you're wearing a turban and you want to feel that turban out a bit more to give it a little bit more of a silhouette, again, pop one of these on the underneath and they're really great. If you did miss last week's, Bradley will be able to tell you how you can actually find any of the evenings that we do. All of our live shows on a Wednesday evening, they're all recorded. And Bradley will tell you now how you can actually find us on our website to actually go in to actually see any of the ones you've missed. And you'll be able to see that one.
That's it. Move over, Jane. It's my time. It's my time to shine. So you can find any of our previous webinars on our Facebook page. Everything that we do online stays online. Alternatively, if you're viewing us through YouTube, if you simply click on our username below this video, down there, you'll be able to see all of the previous webinars that we've uploaded to date from our Live in Lockdown series. And we will be adding additional footage and videos and tutorials, how-tos, all kinds of things there over the coming months. So definitely check those out. I've also seen a question regarding the soft lift cap. You can get those from us on a wholesale basis. Again, as Jane said, if you just want to call the number that's down here, that's very difficult to do it backwards on screen. There you go. That number down there, or drop us an email. One of the customer service team will be more than happy to help you in getting hold of those. But let's go back to Jane now, because I can see she's really cutting into this piece, which is much more exciting than looking at me. Here we go.
Yeah. Thank you, Bradley. As you can see, I've really shortened that fringe now, and it's taken a lot of that hair away from that face for the client to wear. I'm just going to even that out ever so slightly on this side. So I'm just really slicing that corner off, just so it is quite soft on the client's face. And little tweaks like this to your wig make all the difference. You can see already it just changes that look of that wig completely. And what I want to do now is just start working from that underneath taking those little corners away that I don't want, but also I'm just thinning that hair slightly. So I'm just taking, if you can see, a section of hair, and I'm just taking a little bit out of it. So I'm putting a few shorter layers through there, and by putting those shorter layers through there, I can actually just encourage that little bit of movement within the wig that I actually want to see. I always think if you've bought a wig from us, you've done it mail order, which is what most people obviously at the moment have been doing because we've been in lockdown and you've not been able to get to a salon. If you want it personalised at all, always try and find a wig specialist who's been trained how to actually cut wigs, or a very, very confident hairdresser, because obviously once this is cut, then there's actually no going back at all. So just be very mindful of who you get to actually cut your wigs. All of our salons at the moment are just beginning to open up to see clients again, people who are going through chemotherapy, people with alopecia. If not, they're doing online calls with people, and they can actually cut your wigs without you being there, just by having a conversation over the phone. Again, we can give you any numbers for our salons if you just email us at info@trendco.co.uk or call us on 01273 774977. So I want to do similar to this side. I want to actually put a few more layers through this wig, just to put a nice softness to it, really. It's just softening that off. And you're probably thinking that I'm not taking any sections, I'm not taking too much care with this wig. The style has already been put there for me from how it's been manufactured. So all I'm doing is personalising it and actually just tweaking it. And it's very much like a piece of sculpture or a piece of topiary. It's very much what we see and how we actually feel, where we want to actually remove the weight from the wig or actually put more of a layer through it. So it's very much a freehand way of cutting that we're doing with wigs. And that's how you would approach any synthetic wig. If it was a human hair wig, it's completely different again, because it's more like cutting our own bio hair. So hopefully this is giving some people a little bit of inspiration to change their styles, start playing around with some products in their wigs as well, which is great. And I just feel I got a little bit too much weight just through here. So again, I'm just going to take a little bit out through these sections. Again, it's quite random to where I'm taking that hair from, but it's what I can see and what I can actually feel.
Jane, we've had some more feedback and questions come through. Tracy says, I think this is going on to the wig cap that we just discussed, to give some extra height to fill the space inside the wig. Brilliant. That would be good to wear after a while when the wig has stretched. I didn't think of that. That's a great idea to actually.
That's really great. Yeah, it is actually. Yeah.
We also have Kev. Hi, Kev. Says, what an amazing difference using a razor makes. Now, I have to agree. I've watched you do it in person, and it's really quite something. Scares me, though, the way that you move around with a razor so confidently. Psycho.
You're quite lucky with this one. This has actually got it's actually got a safety guard on it, so it's really quite safe.
That's good.
I do actually use when I'm doing demos. That's what I use. I was brought up though with using a cutthroat razor. So that's what I would actually normally use because I feel quite comfortable using a cutthroat. But I'm always aware that people might be trying to copy me at home in what I'm doing. So it's probably not the safest one to show people to use. But yeah, many years ago, during my training to be a hairdresser, I also trained to be a barber. And part of that was actually learning how to use a cutthroat razor and how to actually shave gents, give them that really nice clean shave. So cutthroat razors is something I've always used and feel quite comfortable with. But one with a safety guard on is much safer if we're trying to actually train people in that art of cutting and styling wigs. And I think when you're using a razor, it's so quick as well. It's a really quick way of actually cutting and getting some shape and a different look into the actual wig.
So we have more messages here. One says, so happy I spoke to the Manchester salon today, which is wonderful. I'm glad that you did. And don't forget, anybody that's watching tonight, all of our salons are still there for you. We have staff members manning the phones and emails for each of our salons completely as normal. You are able to do video calls instead of physical consultations during this time, which actually work really well, I think. I know that it's actually a lot more efficient sometimes when you're feeling a little bit anxious to make that call and get things done and moving over the phone rather than having to travel to a venue. So that option is still available for everybody at this time. I think Jane mentioned earlier, if you contact the email at the base of this screen, customer service assistant will help you to find your nearest salon or point you in the right direction of making direct contact with a manager.
Yeah, and I think actually the calls that we've been doing in lockdown with all of our salons is something that we'll probably continue with as well after all the salons have gone back, because we are quite mindful now that some people find it difficult to travel to actually get into us. So if that's the actual case, those salons will still be able to actually offer those calls for you to actually, you know, just speak to them over WhatsApp or Zoom to actually start the actual process going of selecting the wig for you.
Absolutely.
Okay, I've taken, because I think we've learned, excuse me, quite a lot through the last year, isn't it? Because we've been locked down now for coming up for a year. And I think we've actually learned so many different ways of how to actually contact people, to be in touch with people and learn different things, that those things we're never going to lose anymore. We're going to continue to actually keep doing what we actually want to do. Okay, I feel that I've taken enough off. I don't want to take too much more off because I don't want to actually change it ever so drastically for you. But I'm going to pop some product into this wig. The first product I'm going to use is called Powder Grip, which if I put that towards the screen, you'll be able to see that name. This is fantastic. I'll just put some onto my hand and it looks, as it says, like powder. It's a really fine powder. And what you would do is just sprinkle it into the area. And I just want to put it into this root area, just around that crown and that parting, because I just want to give it a little bit more lift and a little bit more body. And what this powder does is it's got a mattifying effect, so it's going to actually matte down the colour of the actual shine of the wig, but also it's going to give me that little bit of oomph where I want it as well. And this one's been made with, as you know, a lace parting to it in front, but I still want that little bit of lift at that root area. So you just sprinkle it in and rub it in with your fingers. It's a great, easy little product to use, and it gives that root lift, but also gives texture to the actual wig. And you can see already how that's actually lifted. And then another one, which I'm going to use on top of that, is this one, which is called, where are we? Wax Blast. This again is a spray, and it's a liquid wax. Normally you would get a wax and rub it into your hands. This is actually a spray. Again, it can actually mattify the colour of the wig, and some wigs are really quite shiny, so this can take that shine off the actual wig. It also creates some body, but it creates hair separation as well. So we can really start to add that texture and hair separation into the wig. So I'm going to try not to talk a minute because I keep breathing all in. Spray some of this all over. And as I said before, always be quite cautious with how much product you're putting on. Don't overwork the product to begin with, because you can always add more into it. And you can see just by putting some of that Wax Blast onto it, that the hair's got all that much more body, but it's more texturized as well. So now I'm going to just work that Wax Blast into the actual hair. And you can see through the back that by cutting it, putting some more layers into that area and thinning it out, you can see more of that darker root coming through, which is what I wanted and what I think is actually quite nice as well. You could, if the Wax Blast, you can really separate those strands of hair out as well. So you can make it look a lot more textured and bitty as well. And again, I just wanted to create that little bit of movement coming through those ends. So you've just got more of a tousled look to that bob shape that we've got going on with this wig. I've lifted it really slightly. Thank you. I've lifted it up from that front area because you've got that lace front to make the most of it. Take that hair away from your face if you can, and just by putting a little bit of that wax onto that front area, we've been able to take it away. Obviously, when you get this wig, if you want to wear it a lot flatter, you're going to be able to wear it a lot flatter if you want to. You can just wash it and actually take this product straight back out of it. But it's just changing those little ends around, which is lovely. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit more of the powder into that root, just so we can get that little bit of lift away from the actual face, which is great. So that's using 2 different products and just giving that wig a completely different look for this evening, which is great.
So Jane, we've got some questions just about this and some comments as well. What wig is that? It's beautiful. So I don't know if you want to explain what it started off as and how you've
Thank you. I will do. Okay. This wig is started off as this one, which is the Emery. So let me just pop it on another head, and you can see the difference between the two then, isn't it? Emery started out life like this. So fairly short at the back, slightly longer and heavier through those sides. Let me just turn the back around so you can see. So we've just put some more texture and movement into the back of that wig for you. Take it around to the front. As you can see, the front's quite long and it does tend to fall forward onto the face. If you're wearing it, you could actually just take it back and keep it quite sleek if you wanted to. We just wanted to do something a little bit different with it. So we've just put more of a fringe into it, lifted that fringe and taken it away from the client's face just to open it up a little bit more for them. But yeah, it started out as the Emery like this and ended up like this one. Wig number 2.
Ta-da!
And it's just a simple matter of just a few products and a little bit of skill, just with a razor and a pair of scissors, just to actually put those shapes into it. You can still take all those back at the side as well, which I think works quite nicely. Take it all away from the face like this if you want to. So you can really play around with these. And I think this is it. If you're wearing a wig, it's when you first get them, you're going to feel a little bit kind of apprehensive. You're going to feel a little bit scared about what you can do with it. But think of it really as your own hair. And then you can actually do a lot more with it and just experiment. The only thing I would say, these are fibre wigs. Don't put any heat on them. So don't try blow drying them. Don't try straightening them at all, because you will actually cause damage to the actual wig. And also another great tip is, I know we're all going to be allowed to go out soon. The pubs will be reopening, or their gardens will be reopening. So there's going to be loads of halogen heaters overhead. Everywhere's going to be a halogen heater trying to keep you all warm. If you're wearing a wig, don't, whatever you do, sit underneath a halogen heater, because it will damage that one area of the wig where you're actually sat. So just be really careful and mindful where you actually position yourself in that pub garden when you're allowed to go back outside again. I think that's quite a top tip, because I think everybody's going to be looking forward to actually going out somewhere and doing something pretty soon, isn't it really, Bradley?
Absolutely. And I think we're all very excited,
So
aren't we?
I think everybody will be getting excited. But yeah, heat on synthetic wigs is really dangerous. And those halogen overhead heaters are really one of the most dangerous ones, really, because none of us realising, we all sit underneath them, all huddled trying to keep warm. But that one heat directly on top of your wig will cause it an awful lot of damage. So it's just being kind of mindful and just careful of that fact, really, which is great. We've had some fabulous questions this evening, which is really very good. It's nice to actually have everybody's feedback, which is great. And did we get many competition winners, Bradley?
You know what? We've had quite a lot of competition winners tonight. There's a lot of people that got it right. So I'm trying to think of the fairest way to do this, Jane, and I'm feeling like we need to put everybody's name in a hat after the show and pick one out, because
okay,
I can't pick and choose when I've got a lot of messages and photos and all sorts in front of me tonight. Wouldn't be fair. I think it would be good to do that completely anonymously. So if you keep an eye out on your Facebook inboxes, we will draw a lucky winner after the show tonight and let them know. And we've had some great feedback though on what we've been doing tonight. That looks amazing. The cut and those products are first class. Thank you very much. Do we sell these products? Now we do, don't we, Jane? But they're very new to us. So they're not currently on the website, but they will be added very soon.
Oh, there's me telling you they were on the website. We do sell them. They are available. They might not be on the website yet, but I think if you rung our customer services, they are completely aware of them. So you will be able to actually order those from us, and we sell all of those products, and they're fantastic products to actually use. They're great.
Brilliant. Okay, we've got messages
somebody
here saying
just
for
said
people
they're not
aren't on Facebook. That's fine. We'll be looking at the Instagram messages as well, and everybody will go in. So we will take note of the conversation on this video, because it actually stays with the video once it saves online. So fear not. Anybody who's answered the question tonight is in with a chance to win.
Yeah, and it's great. I think it's, I've cut a wig, and it's actually quite nice that it can go to a new home and somebody could actually play around and actually experiment with that as well, which is
Absolutely.
really good. Yeah, before we actually go this evening, I just want to actually give you the heads up of what we're going to be doing next week with all of you. As you know, every Wednesday we are live on the 3 different platforms on 7 o'clock on Wednesday evenings. And some weeks we actually have a guest speaker with us. Next week, we're both really excited because we've got a guest speaker who many of you, and another right answers. Oh, I should say it's the right answer. Another answer coming through.
Whoops, she gave it away.
I gave it away. Yes, we're quite excited next week. We've got a guest speaker with us again, but we've actually got a very iconic hairdresser, and we've got Trevor Sorby, who's going to be with us next week, talking about his career and talking about his charity, My New Hair, as well, which we as a company, Aderans, work very close with. But yeah, we're honoured to be actually getting the big man on next week with us to actually speak. So do keep your evening free and actually join in with us at 7 o'clock next Wednesday. For those of our trade accounts who are watching, I'll probably catch up with you maybe tomorrow or next week. And I think, have you got anything to add for this evening, Bradley, at all?
I don't. Just please do keep sending pictures in if you win wigs during competitions, or anything that you learn during these live in lockdown live streams that we do. If you try anything at home and it comes out good, let us know. Send your pictures in. Tag us. Do whatever you need to do to show us.
Absolutely. And we learned something tonight from the viewer who actually said when the wigs get, a little bit older and they begin to get baggy, use one of the soft lift caps underneath your wig then. That's a really top tip for this evening, I think. So yeah, absolutely. Great if you've got a smaller head and you want to wear a normal size wig because of that style, or otherwise when your wigs get old. So yeah, top tip. So that was, thank you. We've learned something as well this evening, which is great. It's been another lovely evening. So all of you who are actually mothers out there, have a wonderful Mothering Sunday this coming Sunday, because it's Mother's Day. Get spoilt by everybody and sit and have a glass of wine all day or a glass of fizz and enjoy your flowers and chocolates. And we'll look forward to seeing you all again very soon. Take care, everybody. Thank you. Bye.